Hey y'all, everybody's favorite bumpkin here. Right off the rip, I want to tell you guys I have no words to express how grateful I am for the outpouring of support whenever we debuted the new channel. You know, all the people that came over from Shade Tree Surgeon channel, all the folks that came over from the Discord, everybody that came over from my Patreon that, has been following me since I started doing videos with Josh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it sounds repetitive, I know, but hey, thank you. I'm not real big with big fancy words and stuff. But anyway, so I kind of had an idea today at work, and also I got a notification from Amazon that something that I'd ordered was actually showing up a day early. So, hey, cool, bonus, okay? Um, but it kind of fit the bill and everything to where we could put something out here for you guys because I want to show you guys what we've been doing here at the shop and also what you can do when you got kind of limited shop space because my garage here, it's basically a two-car detached garage. It's out back of my house, but the thing is, I've only got a single-car garage door. It's only 9 foot wide. So, you know, hey, I ain't trying to get a F-350 in here, so I'm cool with that. But I got to cohabitate with the washer and the dryer and also some of my other hobbies that we're not going to talk about here, but we can talk about on Patreon, whenever you guys feel like it. So feel free to hit me up. But let me kind of start giving you the grand tour a little bit, kind of, sort of, and show you a couple of things that we did, just kind of where we could make everything fit together in a smaller space and not trip on crap all the time. So I'm going to grab you guys, and here you're going to take a ride with me. What we did here is we mounted a soda blaster over here on the wall, and, I'm kind of a tall dude and everything. So, it's at a comfortable working height for me. There's absolutely no way that my wife will ever be able to use this thing unless she uses the step stool right there. But
not today.
She's not happy about that. Anyways, we did have to put a new garage door opener in here because the old one was old enough to buy beer and it finally bit the bullet. But one thing that I've always had a gripe about in this garage ever since we bought this house is with the way the lights were in here, whenever you'd raise the garage door up, this back half of the garage here, it would be just dark. It'd be freaking black hole dark, and you couldn't see what you were doing. So this is what I used to have to deal with. And you guys notice my lights that I put up out here. I've got 9 of these things hanging up here in the rafters in the garage, and they are wicked bright, and they were a hell of a good deal on Amazon. There's going to be an Amazon affiliate link in the description on this. And if you guys want to check them out, I'll have you link to them. Just a quick sidebar here. When it comes to these LED lights like this on the strip lights, the 2 main things that you want to look for is, number 1, the lumen output, because obviously the more lumens you're putting out, the more light they're going to throw out. Also, you want to look at the temperature range or the K rating. A brighter, whiter, crisper white light like that is going to be a 5,000 to 6,000 K rated light, whereas something like a softer, whiter, something like you'd have in your bathroom, something like that, that's going to be rated kind of lower, say 3,000, 4,000 K, something like that. Anything that advertises more than 6K Kelvin or temperature range, honestly, it's probably just a bunch of ad crap and everything, and they're trying to sell you something, because even though they do exist in the wild, they're kind of rare, so you're probably ain't going to get them that bright. These, however, are wicked bright, and they're stupid easy to install because they've just got little clips that they snap into, and you can mount them anywhere. And they've got the link cords here to where you can daisy chain them together, kind of like I did. They come with all the cords, all the switches, all that stuff, plenty of stuff to hang them. I bought a 12-pack, but getting back to it. So you see our problem here. Everything got real dark. Well, here's how we fixed that. I took 2 of them, and I stuck them on the garage door with a switch to where I can turn them off to where I'm not x-raying my retinas, and boom, we got light again. And how you make that work to where it moves with the garage door and you're not tripping on cords all the time, if you guys notice, just above the garage door there's a El Cheapo Amazon cord reel up there. Now what I did on that thing is I opened that little booger up, and that little ratchet claw that holds the cord out whenever you pull it out and it clicks over it, I ripped that sucker out like a bad tooth. And so now the electric cord just follows the door, and it ain't got a whole lot of tension on it, you know, and I've still got a couple of plug-ins here where if I need something, I got it and I can plug into it later on down the road. And also the way I wired it up, that's one of the switches that comes with these things. That way, again, I can keep from blinding myself whenever I've got the door down, because these things are wicked bright. The first couple of days I had these things hanging up in the garage here, whenever I would kick the lights on, I would be like, ooh, God, it's like walking outside in the middle of the day whenever you've been stuck indoors with no windows all day long. But anyway, getting back to what we are looking at tonight. So, again, ain't got a whole lot of space in here, and obviously there's going to come a time where we got to be able to clean parts up because they're grubby, greasy, nasty, whatever. And I needed something where, you know, I could wash parts. I needed a solvent tank, parts washer, whatever you want to call it. And I was cruising around on Facebook Marketplace, and I came across this cool old Gates Salvo sink here. And it's a pretty neat setup. It's only 22 inches square, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. But, you know, it's got a regular pump, you know, switches right on top and everything, and it's got a little flow control valve to where if you need just a little, you got a little. If you need a lot, you got a lot. Lid just lifts off the top, and you can set it off the side. I think it used to have a hook to where you could hang it off the side of the thing, but the hook's missing. Anyway, everything was just hunky-dory until it wasn't. Whenever I bought this thing, it didn't have any solvent in it, but it had a whole lot of crap in it. You know, like old grease and funk and stuff in the bottom of it. And one of the reasons I wanted this thing in particular is because these let you hang this up off the side, or you can drop that grate all the way down to where you can soak parts to clean them, or let them soak to break loose all the funk in them. It's hell doing this with one hand. Anyway, let's get that out of the way there, shall we? The problem that I had is after I cleaned all the funk out of it, let me turn the lights off to where you can see my problem. Exhibit A, flashlight. Exhibit B, it looks like a freaking light bright with all the holes that are rotted in the bottom of this thing. Wasn't exactly planning on that, but anyway, they're there, and ain't a whole lot I can do about it. Okay, so like I said, I ordered some stuff off Amazon the other day, and I figured out that it's showing up a day early. Woohoo, yay me. So let's see what Buddy Bezos sent us. Legos! No, it's not Legos. What it is, though, it's one of the smaller size benchtop solvent tanks. And is it the size that I really wanted? No. Is it something I can use? Yeah. Was it fairly affordable? Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. It comes complete with the pump, but also this one, and again, I'm going to have an Amazon link in the comments section for you to where you can check it out. This one comes with a rubber flex hose with a brush that flows through to where you can pump solvent through and scrub all the ickies off and all that stuff. So let's see what's in the box. Oh, safety sticker. Do not use sharp tools to open. Well, we're committed. Oh, I forgot it was blue. There, I have vanquished the styrofoam. Amazon packing is hit or miss. It's either packed really, really tight, like this, or you get a box that size with a memory card in it. Destructions, we probably won't look at them, but just for feel goods, you know, we'll say that we did. That. Plus, they include this complimentary cardboard storage box. It's almost like they knew I was having to pack shit up and move it around. Oh, yeah. Instructions. Yeah, we're not using that crap. Let's be real here, folks. If you can't figure out how to use this, because it's got a wall plug, it's got a switch, that's pretty self-explanatory. But I will go over it with you just in case you guys are on the same level as me, because I'm special. So right off the rip here, big sticker here says, caution, must use water-based solvent only. Now there's a reason for that. And a big part of it is both a liability reason, but also it's a safety reason, because water-based stuff is non-flammable, obviously. When was the last time you seen, you know, a glass of water on fire that wasn't doctored with something else? Anyways, the downside on water-based solvent is, number one, cleaning power. A lot of them are just not as effective on the really grody, nasty, you know, kind of stuff that we tend to see when we're working on old bikes and whatnot. The way you can get around that is use something that's a little more aggressive, you know, like, say, Simple Green or the Simple Green aircraft formula. The only thing that you got to keep in mind is a lot of that stuff, if it is lye-based, it will be very aggressively corrosive on aluminum, and it'll grow the white, crusty, furry, you know, that kind of stuff on there. Or if you've got a polished finish on aluminum, it'll beat that up pretty bad. You don't want to do that, especially if it's something nice. So just be aware of what you're getting into. Now, full disclosure here, I fully intend on using standard parts washer solvent in this solvent tank here in my garage. Now, I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to explain how. The reason why is because I don't want to deal with a water-based solvent, because here in Florida, it's hot, it's humid. We got water in the air. What that does from a cleaning standpoint is you're going to have to spend more time drying your parts off, and you're going to leave a film on there unless you take them out, rinse them in clear water, and then dry them off. And, you know, in the long run, it just ends up making for a lot of extra work for you. So also, I don't like the idea of having to look at whatever icky, grody part that I'm holding in my hands with grease dripping down to my elbows and go, oh, wait, is this aluminum? Can I put this in here? I don't know. Maybe I should check. So anyway, those are my reasons. I'm sticking to them, okay? I'm taking it on me if, you know, all my hair falls out and my grandkids turn out being homely. So we're using regular solvent. And we're going to do a couple of things on this just to mitigate the potential pitfalls of using regular solvent. And just for everybody at home that may not know this, standard parts washer solvent like you typically buy from, say, Tractor Supply Company or Safety Clean, something like that, it is basically just a low volatility mineral spirits. It's paint thinner. That's all it is. And you can save yourself a lot of money if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and you buy a 5-gallon bucket of mineral spirits. Just make sure you get the stuff that's marked low VOC, because that stuff doesn't evaporate as quickly, and it also doesn't fume as much. So it's going to be a little bit easier on you, especially if you're using it in the garage, you know, where it's attached to your house, something like that. Luckily, my garage is detached from my house, so I don't have that concern. But if your garage is attached, it's something you might want to think about. So let's open it up and see what's on the inside. More styrofoam. It's like they knew. Out of here. Go. Goofy little tag. The best preparation tomorrow is doing your best today. Well, it ain't a fortune cookie, but it ain't too far off. So let's check out what we got here. What we got is very, very simple. Obligatory big obnoxious yellow safety sticker here. That is the brush and the hose that this particular combo kit came with, which honestly, I could have got this same type of solvent tank for $8-10 cheaper and got it here in the same amount of time. The thing is, this one came with the parts brush and the hose. So, you know, hey, it was worth an extra $10 because if you buy one of those things separately, you know, you're going to spend $10-15 at least, and you know, it may take a week for it to show up and it may not fit. Anyway, these are really simple. Obviously, you want to remove the tape, and we are going to utilize the gratuitous tape to remove wayward styrofoam residue. So you've got this little grate that sits in here, and this is what your parts are going to sit on. This shelf from here down, that's where your solvent's going to live at. And this little bitty pump, these pumps that come with these are nothing more than a pond pump, like for, you know, a koi pond or something like that. They sell the exact same thing at Harbor Freight for like $12. You know, if you ever have one that croaks, go there, grab one, it'll bolt right in. The only downside of these, the fittings on them are plastic. So you've got this metal boom that is screwing into a plastic fitting. Thread in like it's supposed to. There. That's special. Now these have got an O-ring that seals them. I tell you, you don't want to reef down on these things and just go all kinds of Hulk smash, because you're going to end up breaking it, because these will get brittle, especially if you're using like regular mineral spirits for solvent, like I intend to. Now, later on down the road, I'm going to make some mods on this thing, and whenever I get there, I'll show them to you guys and, you know, give you a heads up on what I did and why I did it. But for the time being, that little guy is going to screw in there. Or not. There, minor adjustment. But that little guy's going to screw in there. Just put it down finger tight. And then you put your wand or probe, whichever you prefer. Behave. Mama's watching y'all. But anyway, you put that on there. And it's a little fiddly because you're having to fight around the lid, but just make sure you don't cross thread it, or else it's going to leak and it's going to spray crap everywhere. Now just run it down until it's just snug. You don't want to crank on it and squash the O-rings out of it. And also keep in mind, you're not trying to bottom the thing out, because you want it to have a little bit of give. Now, with this, if you don't use the hose and the brush, there you go. What you do, your shelf is going to ride right here. Whenever you put your solvent or whatever cleaner you decide to use in it, I'd fill it up to where it's, you know, about the top of this fitting right here, but I wouldn't go any higher than that, because you want the solvent to be able to drain off of this and have a clear space to see what you're doing. And that just drops back in there like so. And there you have it. Pretty simple. You put your cleaning goo in there, and then you take your cord thingamajig, plug it in the wall, flip the switch. The pump in there does the magic pump stuff, and it sprays it out of that nozzle right there. Now, on this solvent tank, like I said, it came with the hose and the brush. It doesn't have to clamp on or anything, because it just pushes on there. Honestly, it doesn't push on there that good, and once it gets slicked up a little bit with some solvent, it may push that sucker off when you least expect it. So we're going to see. I may end up putting a clamp on there. Don't know yet. But the cool thing on this is, whenever you're done with it, you can take it, bend it down, close the lid. There it is. Pick it up, tote it around. That way you ain't got it laying on the workbench all the time. You're not tripping over it in the shop. And plus, you still got the ability to wash off your stuff. And normally that's where I would have stopped. But bench space is a premium for me here, because y'all seen some of my other hobby stuff, and it takes up a lot of real estate on the workbench. So I needed some way where I could get this thing out of the way. And part of the reason why I bought the old solval sink over there is I had intended on putting wheels on the bottom of that sucker to where I could roll it underneath my workbench. In the earlier video, you guys saw how my toolbox sits underneath my workbench over there. There's a reason I did that. I built my benches because I'm kind of a tall guy, and I wanted my workbenches to be, you know, here to comfortable working height for me. Well, I was planning on buying that toolbox when I was building my workbenches, and I did a little measuring and a little math here and there, and that's how I come up with the height for my benches and also, you know, the toolbox that I bought, because it fits underneath my benches just fine. And, you know, I got plenty of room to get to all my stuff and everything, but if I need to drag my toolbox across the shop, it's just a simple matter of rolling it out from underneath the workbench and taking it with me wherever I need to go. So, how do we do that with this? Here's how. That. I've been dragging this raggedy ass old snap-on tool cart around for 15 plus years now, and honestly I really don't even remember where I got the damn thing. It's beat up, it's bent, it's rusty, it's a little weebly here and there, and most of the time it's just a crap catcher and a catch-all. But it just so happened that this thing rolls underneath my workbenches too, and I never even bothered to measure it. And it clears it by about 1/2 of an inch, because this one handle here, it's a little taller than the one on the other end. I don't know why they made it that way, but they made it that way. But we're going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to show you why. We got a raggedy tool cart here. We got our new baby solvent tank in training. I got lucky enough that I just happened to remember that I had this thing whenever I was shopping for this thing. So I ran out to the garage real quick with a tape measure, and sure enough, I'll be damned if it didn't fit. So what we're going to do is take that, put that right there, and that way we got a solvent tank that we can move around to wherever we need it, and then we can still stash it underneath the workbench out of the way when we don't. Now, later on down the road, there's a couple things that I am going to do with this, and part of it is going to be, I'm going to build a filtration system for the solvent to where it has a reservoir in the bottom of the cart to where the dirty solvent that's been used, it drains down out of the solvent tank into a bucket to where it lets all the goo and the schmoo separate out of it, and that way all the funk and the nasties will settle to the bottom, and it keeps your solvent cleaner, and also it helps it last longer before it starts, you know, getting really gross and looking like watered down diesel fuel. Okay, so we're going to blow this cart apart real quick, and it's going to be real simple how we're going to do this. All we got to do is take the bolts out of the top here, and we're going to re-drill these holes 4.5 inches lower down. That way it lowers the lid of the solvent tank to where it will still roll up underneath the edge of the workbench, and that way it's not out in the middle of the floor where we're tripping over it all the time. Okay, I'm not going to make you guys suffer through watching me take all these grody bolts out of this ancient, you know, cast-off tool cart, because, you know, there's a lot of cool stuff that we can film and watch, but, you know, ooh, look, he's pulling a bolt out. That's boring. Y'all see me do that 100 times. So there. There. Ow. I got an owie. Okay. Handy and dandy cordless drill. Well, there. 4 holes and 1 busted ass drill bit later. I'll tell you right now, I'm the worst person in the world on drill bits, okay? I break them, I burn them up, I smoke them down, and I sharpen the hell out of them until they're just a nub if they don't die first. to make the holes bigger because I missed it by that much. Damn it! It's a grody ass shop cart, y'all. It's not like it's a precision piece of equipment. Okay, now that we got the holes opened up like a streetwalker going to a gyno appointment, let's bolt it back together. What? Shock face off camera. She's like, I can't believe you said that. Yep, I did. You didn't marry me from a charm, baby. Hey, baby. Would you mind bringing me a cup of coffee, please? Would you please bring me a cup of coffee? What? Oh. Yeah, I got to pay the cup tax. I got to give her a cup to get a cup because, you know, all my coffee cups wind up out here in the shop. I think my current high score is like 7. Whoever designed and pushed for a round head, flat blade screw, it was probably a long time ago. Like a long, long time ago. And for me to use Sir genuinely, I hope a rather large dog comes and does something vile on top of your gravestone, because that was a dumb damn idea. And there we have it, kids. 4 inches lower. Nope, we're going to put that on the other side. Because we got the big handle over there. Beautiful. It's almost like we planned it that way. Lid still closes. Now, for the grand test, to see if my half-ass, half-baked idea actually works. Holy sheep shit, Batman, it fits. And there we go. The cool thing is, it's right back there, back underneath the bench, where that cart's been living for the last 6 years, basically, just holding up a bunch of useless crap. So now it's holding up something that we're going to use and something that we need and something that's worthwhile, but we still got spot for our useless crap. So anyway, that about does it on this one. You know, didn't spend a whole lot of money, just had to exercise a little bit of gray matter on it. I'll freely admit there was a few times it kind of hurt a little bit, and I've heard this sizzly pop sound that I wasn't really sure if I was hearing it or feeling it. But anyway, the main thing is we got something we can use, and we didn't take up any more space than what we already, you know, had given up to make it work. And we did it for fairly low cash. By the time it's all said and done, and I buy solvent to put in that thing, I'm probably going to have about 125, 130 bucks in it, total up and everything. But I got versatility out of it. I got usability out of it. And also, the main thing is I've got portability out of it. So I'll catch you guys next time. Oh, thank you, baby. What can I say? She loves me, and she knows I get cranky when I don't have my coffee. So anyway, we're going to pull the plug on this one tonight, guys. It's almost 10 o'clock. Hey, it's Florida, okay? It's still hotter than hell outside, okay? I'm out here sweating bullets in the garage. I am ready to go in the house, pull off my work boots, break out the flip-flops, yes, and suck up a little bit of AC. So until next time, I appreciate every single one of you guys, no matter how weird or wacky or off the wall you are. The response that I've gotten from you guys has been absolutely overwhelming. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Now, that being said, please, you know, throw me a bone, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you ain't already subscribing. You know, let's spread the word. Let's try to help people save some money. Let's try to help people save themselves a little bit of grief. Get the old bike out of the garage, knock the cobwebs off of it, kick the tires, light the fires. Let's get them back on the road, okay? Till next time, y'all. I love you. I'll see you.